All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So here we are. We're ready to close out the 17th edition of the conference. And although the format was different and we're distant from each other, in other ways, nothing has really changed. All of you are as productive as ever and willing to share your experiences. And we appreciate that on behalf of the conference executive committee. But frankly, you know, we're not surprised. If you're in this field, you embrace changing technology and the challenge that lies in front of you, challenges that lie in front of you. A great example is the ice storm that threw us a curveball this week, but as always, the community was quick to respond. Several presenters jumped in to pre-record their presentations and provided it to the program committee ahead of the storm to ensure the content that they planned to share would actually be shared, both yesterday and today, actually. In terms of numbers, we had 786 people register for the conference and 30 exhibitors. We typically had between 100 and 150 attendees for each of the concurrent sessions, so those are good attendance levels. And of course, that varied a little bit each day as people's schedules impacted their ability to attend. My experience over the past 3 days reminds me of why I'm so proud to be a part of your community. You continue to do great work despite the challenges presented to you by COVID as you serve the citizens of North Carolina and contribute your knowledge to your areas of expertise. So I'd like to say thank you to all the presenters. All of the presentations were great as far as I'm concerned, and they will be available through the North Carolina GIS Conference YouTube channel in the coming weeks. Next, I would like to thank the Carolina URISA chapter for leading the poster session as they've done in the past in the physical environment. Speaking on behalf of Eddie Shipman and Trish Patterson, I would like to thank all of you who submitted posters in this different kind of world. And I'm ready to announce the winners based on your voting that ended last night. So there are 3 names to share with you. Third place, for a prize of $33 from the Carolina URISA chapter. That prize goes to John Volger from North Carolina State University for his poster entitled World Map of Music, First Edition, Distribution of Songs About Cities. Very interesting. Second place goes to Ray All of the City of Raleigh with a $66 second place prize for his poster entitled Prioritizing Areas for Planning. And the first prize goes to Todd Hayes from the City of Greensboro with a $100 prize from Carolina URISA for his poster on traffic accidents in the City of Greensboro. So I would like to say, in addition to that, you know, I recognize the names from previous poster sessions, and both Todd and Ray have been winners in the past. So it is clear that you guys have a special talent for presenting information via the poster medium. So great job, everybody. Before I close out the conference with some of the insights from the team, I'd like to thank the team, starting with Liz Foreman and Catherine Hughes of CMC and Associates, our event management provider. I've asked them to turn their cameras on, which they've done, so you can see who's behind the curtain. In the weeks leading up to the conference, they've instructed us on how to work with the CEVent attendee hub and getting us comfortable with it. They've been in the control room throughout this conference and have made sure that everything is working properly. Speaking as the person who was the hardest to train, I especially thank Liz and Catherine for all of their work. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, this came across very flawlessly. So thanks again for the effort you put into all this and helping us. Great job. Next, I want to thank the vendor community who adapted to the change in presenting their firm's capabilities. And from what I saw in the vendor demo theater, for example, I think that was very successful. The communication medium seemed to work very well. So great job, and thanks for being a part of the conference. Finally, I'd like to thank the members of the executive committee who helped me work through the details of planning and implementing this very first virtual event. Your ideas and your energy were critical to helping us achieve what we've achieved over the past 3 days. So I'm just going to run through those names. Rich Elkins, Diane Enright, Jeff Essick, David Giordano, Andy Goretti, Colleen Kiley, Matthew McClam, Trish Patterson, Eddie Shipman, and last but not least, Brett Spivey. So thank all of you. Obviously couldn't have done it without you. You took the lion's share of the effort leading up to the conference and during the conference. So I appreciate it. So winding down here, I have a few insights that I would like to share that I've gathered from my team along with some of my own. And some of these, hopefully you resonate with you, but they lead us down a path of looking ahead and what we can do in the future as a community, recognizing the evolution of our technology and its implementation, both in the public and private sectors. So the first observation is the GIS community is really expanding the use of popular apps such as dashboards and web app builder. You're taking customization of these apps to the next level and really making them your own. So which is very, very interesting to see. Where features and functionality didn't exist 2 years ago, they are now in place and being used by many organizations across North Carolina. As we know, the evolution of this technology is more and more involving the public. So the public is becoming more aware of GIS and its capabilities, even if they don't realize it. Crowdsourcing is becoming more and more prevalent, and the need for input from citizens for data analysis continues to grow. Third observation is perhaps it is time to renew a deeper engagement at the national level on behalf of North Carolina and the GIS professionals in the state. As a result of the implementation of the Geospatial Data Act and the passage of 3 bills in Congress in late 2020 that are all relevant to the GIS community. We have a role to play as a community and as individuals. Let's seize that opportunity when it presents itself in the coming months and years. The next observation is organizations that have approached the next gen 911 data needs have done it in different ways. Whether they have automated the processes or prefer a manual hands-on approach, they are all working toward the same goal, the more efficient and effective call routing of 911 calls in North Carolina. We're doing this along with other states, but we're really on the front edge of seeing this happen across North Carolina. More to come on that as we move through that. Next observation, I believe, is we need to find new ways to engage the education community in North Carolina, both the K through 12 sector, as well as the post-secondary education sector. Many of us, including me with the grayish white hair, are edging toward the latter part of our careers, and we need to grow that next generation to assume the responsibilities that we have today and ensure that this technology and its implementation continue to thrive in North Carolina. So I think that's a challenge for us. I welcome your ideas along those lines, and I really hope you have ideas along those lines that we can pursue as a community. Next, I want to call out our experience with COVID-19. COVID has manifested itself in various ways as we approach our jobs. For one, we always knew the GIS community was resilient and resourceful, but COVID has proven this to those outside of our community. Many participants discussed how successfully they were able to work from home, manage large data sets, and remain as productive or even more productive than before. COVID-19 may change the way we work in the future, now that we know that we can work from home productively. The real possibility of working in a hybrid environment is probably coming, and maybe it's a welcome difference. Also along the lines of COVID, GIS has been placed in the spotlight with the Johns Hopkins dashboard. I won't forget that Johns Hopkins The Johns Hopkins dashboard was shown to me probably sometime in early January by Brett Spivey of the staff. And, we're all kind of intrigued as to what they were showing in other parts of the country, really before it came to the States. So it showed GIS as a medium for doing that. As soon as we reference the dashboard in our own social setting, the public realizes what we mean when we say we work in the GIS field. Now that there's a wider understanding of how powerful GIS is, we have a unique opportunity to sell ourselves, sell our ideas and our projects, and ask for the resources to make it more useful as a tool that's obviously very powerful. Last observation I have is, I think we recognize at this conference, maybe for the first time, the importance of GIS to social issues that has been made clear through some of the presentations that were given. From food deserts to the lasting effects of redlining on public health, to planning for elections, GIS is revealing where we need to concentrate resources and where we need to put more emphasis. So these are just some of the insights of my team and I, but we would like to hear your insights as well as you consider over the next few days what you got out of the conference, what you thought was special about what you heard. So as you complete the survey that should be in your inbox right now, actually, feel free to share those comments with us about your experience from your perspective and where you sit. So just in closing, just like to say there's nothing like being together face to face, but I think this has been a great experience in its own way. Here's hoping that very soon COVID-19 will be in the rearview mirror and we can get together again as a community. I look forward to that day, and I hope you do too. So at this point in the Friday afternoon session, I would say safe travels, but you're either working at home or at your office. So I would just say take care until we are together again. And thank you for making this experience special. So long from Apex, North Carolina. Take care.